Good afternoon. We'll continue our afternoon, don't worry. So as the saying goes, travel and food complements each other. Do you all agree with me? Great. So I just would like to have a quick introduction about the person today sitting next to me, Mr. Kunal Vijaykar. The name, no need of introduction. But for those, we have got some foreign delegates also here. For their benefit, I would like to quickly run through a small information about who he is. So he is an Indian broadcaster, food writer, author, actor, and television personality. He's also YouTuber, and his YouTube channel called Khane Mein Kya Hai. A whole generation has watched him eat his way into the hearts of hundreds and thousands and millions of people, not only in India, all over the world. Ladies and gentlemen, here Kunal Vijaykar for us for the day, and give him a big round of applause. And thank you so much, Dr. Mukesh Batraji and the board, selecting me for this fireside chat with him. And I'm also meeting for the first time, and I'm also influenced by him. I'm not a food lover. I eat less, but I taste more.
Yeah.
So now...
Thank you so much. He's also a travel monk, literally. Correct, yeah. And thank you for inviting me here. It's a hard act to follow after Puja. One, visually only, she's so good looking, and then you land up with this after that, which is not a very good thing. Also, half my life is gone not doing what Puja proposes. But I need to at some point start looking at the other side of life also and live a little more healthier, although I'm quite happy, that I have to admit. Most important. Yes, so.
Great. As just now Pooja Bedi said, what is the GPS actual location after meeting the Sadguru? Guru positioning system, right? Now, how can we call him when it comes to the culinary side? So shall we call him as the culinary compass? Yes, he's the man who can tell us what food is available where, and from there we'll take it forward. Now, without doing much further delay, I would like to enter into the fireside chat, asking him the first question. The culinary tourism is booming worldwide. Where does India stands in this trend?
It's booming worldwide in pockets. It's not like every country in the world is booming with culinary tourism. Yes, a lot is happening in the East, in Thailand, in Vietnam, in Korea, in Japan, in China. A lot is happening in certain parts of Europe. I don't think there's any great culinary tourism happening in the United States. But I think there is a renewed interest in Indian food amongst a certain kind of foreigner. And if we don't, Indian food is now, I think, the third most popular food in the world. So if we don't capitalize on that, then we're going to get left behind. And now is the time with social media and a lot of interest being shown in food. If you look at every food anchor, influencer, international hosts, they've all come to India and at some point covered food in India. And after all, Indian food is the greatest food in the world. So these are opportunities we should not be missing right now.
So we all know from the travel and tourism and hospitality industry, the gastronomy tours are also booming a lot. People travel just to eat. So when it comes to the culinary tourism, not only tasting the food, people wanted to learn the art of cooking. So nowadays, the trend is definitely going very fast. So those who are looking for a new trend when it comes to the promoting tourism, the culinary is the one area which we can focus. So when we say eating is necessity, but cooking is an art. So now coming to the question back to Mr. Kunal, do you think our food diversity is our biggest strength or our biggest challenge to promote globally?
I think it's our biggest strength. There are very few countries in the world which have the variety of cuisines that we do. And I always think that if you take one mutton dish from, say, Kashmir and take one from Kanyakumari, besides it being mutton, there is nothing in common, literally, in taste, in spices, in usage, in cooking style, etc. So this is an opportunity we have, but it has to start with our local tourists first. After which, if we are still looking for, I'm sorry to say, but we're still looking for butter chicken and naan everywhere, and tandoori chicken and Punjabi food. Punjabi food which is not cooked in Punjabi homes, but Punjabi food which is cooked in restaurants, Punjabi restaurants. Because if you go to a Punjabi's home, you will never find paneer makhanwala, and you will never find, parathas coming out of a tandoor. So if we can start, and it is happening, I don't want to make it sound like doomsday, but it is happening slowly that people are getting interested in eating regional, micro cuisines. What do they call it nowadays? Basically, food from smaller parts. You know, every time you travel 100 kilometers, even if you take the Konkan coast, and if you just talk about a prawn curry or a fish curry, every 50 kilometers it changes. The souring agent changes. Some people use imli, some use tomatoes, some people will just put nimbu in it. The coconut changes, the spices change. So if we ourselves start exploring more Indian food, I mean, we go to, say, Odisha, and we go to the temples, we go to all the historical sites, but even the local tourism board is not promoting the cuisine. You come to Maharashtra will talk about the dance forms, and it will talk about the rain and the monsoon and the forts of Maharashtra. But Maharashtra has 7-8 different cuisines which are nothing like each other. Nobody promotes them. And it goes on, even Rajasthan. People are still talking palaces and deserts, but nobody's talking about the food. So if we don't start talking about our own food, how will it reach other people?
Exactly. Well said, Kunalji. As the saying goes, be like a Roman when you are in Rome. But when it comes to Indian travelers, when it comes to the food, they would like to expect idli sambar when they go to Peru. They would like to expect dal makhani when they go to Argentina. So Indians definitely would love to have at least one meal in a day, whichever country they go.
You see, I don't have any problem with that. It happens to me. After all the exposure that I may have had with European food and Western food, Asian food, every time I travel abroad, for the first 5 days, I will go and explore, especially you're in Europe. Yeah. Explore. Then the 5th day, you want to eat a little spice because your palate is used to spice. So I'll go and eat a Thai meal or a Malaysian meal somewhere. And then slowly, you find the worst Indian restaurant and still go and eat samosas and tandoori roti and butter chicken over there. But we can't help it. I mean, it's our palate and we like Indian food. I like Indian food a lot. Great. After 7-8 days, I can't not eat Indian food.
So I have traveled about 98 countries. I have seen the huge demand for Indian cuisine. Whichever Indian restaurants you go, more than Indians, I found locals because they love Indian food. And some time back, Mukesh ji was talking about, is this the land of spices or the land of antacids? But definitely, there are people who would love to taste the spice land of India. Even the history also says they were in search of spice land. That's how they landed in India. So when I say food is not just eating energy, it is an experience. Now coming to a question to you, Kunalji, how can we package Indian food beyond curry and butter chicken?
One, by convincing people that it is not spicy. That all Indian food doesn't have to be spicy, and that even a Western and a European palate will be able to appreciate the nuances of our, all Indian food is not hot. It is spicy because we have spices in it, but it's not tikha. If we can start slowly breaking those myths, and prove to people that most places in India, if you travel and eat, are hygienic, are clean, a bit like, say, Singapore, where you have a huge street food culture. There are hawker centers everywhere, but they're all controlled. They've got water, running water. They've got hygiene levels, and there is great food on the streets of India, and which you can't ever make in the house or in a restaurant, for that matter. If that culture can be promoted, and you can guarantee that people don't get Bombay bellies or Delhi stomachs or whatever they're called, I think we will slowly, what do you say, get people more interested. I think countries like the UK right now have, at least in the big cities, have a lot of Indian restaurants, and I find that most of the Indian restaurants in London, for example, are not doing Punjabi food. They are not doing tandoori chicken, butter chicken, vindaloo, as they call it, and those things. They're doing food from the south, from the north, from the east, and giving it their own tweak. And it's working in the larger cities, but then England is used to India. I mean, they've ruled over us for so many years that they like our food, in any case.
Great. As you pointed out earlier, the government should take some initiative in creating, as part of the tourism policy, why cannot we have culinary tourism also? There has to be a policy where we can put certain guidelines, because I remember once I was in Qatar, one of the Kerala restaurants was shut down in front of me because that man was using the same oil more than thrice. But Indian restaurants and many other street food vendors, how many times they're using the same oil?
And it gets tastier and tastier. And it gets tastier and tastier.
So my mother used to say, the more it is tastier, the most it is dangerous. So we have to be very careful in taking a point out. So now coming to the second food, yes, you have been very familiar and famous when it comes to the street food point of view. How do you make street food both safe and globally appealing?
By first of all, sort of institutionalizing it. You go to Nariman Point. Okay, Nariman Point is how many buildings are there, how many people work there. Where do they eat? You have to bring a dabba. Is there any place in Nariman Point where the average person can go and eat every day? He cannot. He's eating on the road, and there's some really decent food on the road. There are just a few stalls. There's one biryani fellow. There is one tawa rice fellow. There is one pav bhaji. If, where Inox is standing, because I worked for 11 years in Nariman Point and I saw that Inox coming up in front of my eyes, that whole parking lot, there was a proposal to make it into a hawker market, where there will be running water, where there will be clean, everything in the night is cleaned, and there is hygiene and there are grades and everything. But unless we encourage and institutionalize and recognize these people with licenses, we are never going to be able to get our street food in order. I was shooting in Thailand just now, in Bangkok. A lot of the street vendors they have Michelin mentions and plates. No, not stars, but at least people have come and it's clean, spotless.
Well said. And as you all know, the food business is one of the largest growing industry in the world when it comes to the world, travel, tourism, and hospitality industry. We do have a hospitality veteran sitting here. So I would like to request and appeal the hospitality industry to consider Kunal Vijaykar's suggestions, what he is giving today. And we all have to fight it together and make sure that, the government also can take things forward. So with that, I know we are on dot time. But still, I would like to have a small announcement before we end up the session. I got a request that can we do some auction to support the Congress. Being a philatelist, philatelist, a person who loves us to collect stamps. all over the world. So I was just breaking my head, what can, appeal for the event. So I'm able to pick up some collection of, from my personal collection. These are the postage stamps and postcards released by the Indian Postal Department showing the culinary importance of India. So we know that somewhere the government is doing, but it is not going way forward. It is we have to take individual responsibility to make noise and promote the Indian food, wherever we travel. And this has got, Lord Venkateshwara, the Balaji, the Laddu. On Laddu also there is a postage stamp. Can you believe it? And Hyderabadi biryani, there is a postage stamp. So there are so many stamps insert, in this album, along with the postcards. And another matter, I would like to spice it up with the autograph given by Kunal. Thank you so much for giving his beautiful autograph. Is also there inside. And this album is only one available for the day. And we are going to auction it in the evening. So guys, keep yourself ready with your pockets filled and grab this beautiful collection. And I would like to give this back to Mumbai South for the efforts what they have been putting. And thank you so much for this lovely opportunity given to me to interact with Mr. Kunal Vijaykar.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.